past, typically the way to become a tattoo artist is you go into a studio and you beg them to give you a job, and then they'll most likely say no and send you out the door. But the few who do actually get in the door, you're going to basically be treated a little bit like a free employee. So you're going to be made to do all the stuff that you probably don't want to do and they really don't want to do. So that's going to be cleaning, making teas and coffees, answering the phone. You're essentially the receptionist, the cleaner, everything else apart from learning how to tattoo. And for us, it seems a little bit counterproductive because you've already proven your worth. You know, you've came to us with a really good, solid art background. You've told us why you want to do this. You've explained that you're dedicated. You're able to demonstrate a level of professionalism that we're looking for. You know, that's proven your worth. You don't need to then do 12 months worth of free labor to show that you deserve it. You know, you already do deserve it. And that's kind of the difference between how we view apprentices and a lot of the old school method of viewing apprentices. No previous tattoo experience is actually better than some previous tattoo experience which wasn't very good. So you might have picked up really bad habits, winged your way through it and not kind of taught yourself properly. So learning to tattoo without previous experience is often better. And in terms of the skills that you're going to need to have a really strong artistic portfolio. So the more varied and the more different mediums of art that are in there, it's going to be the better. But it needs to be strong and it needs to be like quite significant as well. So you'll need to be able to demonstrate you've done like at least 20 to 30 completed pieces of artwork rather than, you know, a bit here and a bit there. The better your art portfolio is, the better chance that you're going to get accepted as a tattoo apprentice. And then other skill sets are mainly based around your characteristics. So being hardworking, being dedicated, being professional, and a willingness to learn as well. There is a big misconception that, you know, being a tattoo artist generally is just easy and it's all fun and games all the time, but it is a career and it's a serious career, and learning to become a tattoo artist is actually quite demanding. So if you treat it like it's a bit of a game, if you treat it like it's, you know, a hobby as opposed to an actual career, you just won't make it. It's as simple as that. We put a lot of time, effort and energy into all of our apprentices, and as long as that's replicated, it will stay that way. But as soon as we see people who are, you know, maybe just taking this lightly, not taking it seriously and not respecting the artist who's teaching them or respecting the studio where they work, there's just no point continuing. It's really hard to put an exact time limit on how long it takes to become a tattoo artist because it's a skill, and with every skill, people learn it at different rates. So it might take somebody, you know, maybe 2 to 3 months to pick up the very basics. It might take somebody a year to pick up the basics. There's not really an exact time frame on how long it takes. It's all dependent on the individual, but the more effort, dedication, and time you spend on something, the faster you're going to learn it. The other point to this is that the very best tattoo artists been tattooing, I don't know, even for 20 plus years, they're still learning every single day. They're still, you know, bringing in new skill sets. They're still trying new things, and they're still growing as artists and tattoo artists all the way through. So it's not like, okay, I get to this point and then I'm done and it's all finished. The learning process is just going to continue for years on end. The main fundamental things that you need to learn as a tattoo apprentice, starting before you do anything to do with actual tattooing, is understanding how you can do it really safely for yourself, for your client, for the studio, for the general public. That's understanding everything there is to know about cross-contamination, about health and safety, and about working in a clinical environment. That's critical that you understand that, because without that you literally can't go any further. So that's the starting point of all tattoo apprenticeships, and then it moves on then to the technical side, so understanding about the needles, the inks, the machines, how the skin takes the ink, all of that kind of more technical side of things, and then it goes on from there to the practical side, so putting all of that work into practice, you know, and then working on line work, shading, colour packing, and all the other kind of elements that are involved in creating completed tattoos. So before you apply to be a tattoo apprentice, it's really important that you work on your artwork. You need a really good, strong portfolio, and I can't emphasize that enough. It has to be outstanding. So at Vivid Ink, we get tens and tens of people trying to become tattoo apprentices every single week. Only those with the very strongest portfolio will get selected. In addition to that, you also want to make sure that you're flexible, that you have realistic expectations, that you're willing to learn, you can take criticism on the chin, and that generally you're seeing this as a career and not just like a flash in the pan hobby. Let me try and learn how to be a tattoo artist. It has to be something that you've been thinking about and that you really want to dedicate your life to. So if you do want to become a tattoo apprentice at Vivid Ink, the best thing to do is send us an email. On that email, include a little bit about yourself and why you want to become a tattoo artist, any links to your social media which will be helpful, and 10 to 15 examples of your very best artwork. Send that email to apprentice@vividinktattoos.co.uk, and then we'll be in touch from there.